Good morning, everyone. We welcome you to our In the Black Indigenous NT Indigenous Business Resilience program. And today actually is about putting a spotlight on the Northern Territory deadly Indigenous businesses. My name is Julieann Lambourne, but let me start by acknowledging the traditional custodians on the land upon which we're both meeting and talking on today. I am on Gimoy Wallabarri Yidinji country in Cairns, Queensland, far north Queensland, but I acknowledge all First Nations people, our elders, our past, present and emerging, and extend our respect to you, our family, and all of your families as well. But firstly, let me introduce our guest today, who's Tanyah Nasir. Tanyah, I'm going to actually just celebrate you first, and I'm going to read your bio and just give the people a little bit of an overview about you. So Tanyah is a Garrawa, Djugun-Yawuru woman born and raised in Darwin. She is a descendant of the stolen generations and has family connections to Tiwi people. Tanyah is an Aboriginal educator who has worked across the primary, secondary and tertiary sectors. She has 30 years experience as a teacher, program developer, designer and deliverer, lecturer and trainer, and more recently, educational empowerment trainer and facilitator.
Have you started?
Tanyah is passionate about empowering Indigenous Australians to see themselves as competent and confident contributors to society. She has always worked in the Indigenous context, and she acknowledges and advocates the need for change and, more importantly, implicitly understands the cultural, sensitive and responsive methodology required to achieving outstanding engagement, participation, outcomes and success. She has extensive and relevant experience in working in the Indigenous education, facilitation, education and training arena, especially in the NT remote community context. Tanyah is dedicated and committed to projects that put Aboriginal people at the centre of any meeting or context, as it is only by this approach will genuine self-determination be achieved. Tanyah owns and manages her own business and is the founder of the Rise Up program, Be Your Best, Own Your Future, an Indigenous empowerment and social transformational education program. The philosophy of Tanyah's business is to build human infrastructure, confidence, self-worth and belief in self. These are critical to develop the empowering thinking, growth mindset and resilience and social skills to ensure Indigenous people create the life they want. Too deadly, my sister, and welcome to our NT Indigenous Business Spotlight. How are you going? Oh, Tanyah, so this is what happens when we're using technology. We love it, but sometimes the platforms can play up a little bit. So Tanyah's having a little bit of sound issues. Tanyah, we'll just get you to refresh. And we're going to go back to the old method of communication because Tanyah has some sound issues. We're going to get you to refresh. But as you can read, Tanyah's been working across the Northern Territory in so many different areas, and we're really excited as part of the program to have her, because the NT Indigenous Business Resilience Program for NT Indigenous businesses is not just about providing information and providing tips and tools and having people on, but it's also about celebrating the NT Indigenous businesses. And that's what we're doing today on Friday. But with anything, sometimes when you're going live, we can have issues. And this morning, we're having a few issues with sound. But that's okay. Our people are working behind the scenes to get it. If you've just joined us, Tanyah, you're back.
I'm back. Sorry, Julieann.
Thank you for joining us. I was just explaining how sometimes when you go live, you're at the mercy of technology, we're at the mercy of telecommunications.
Absolutely.
But that's okay, because the other thing about business is we have to pivot at any time we can to change what we do, and sometimes things can go wrong at the drop of a hat. But we're
As they
so happy
do.
to have you, my sister. Your bio is amazing. You're amazing.
Oh, thank
So
you.
welcome.
Thank you, Julieann. It's wonderful to be here. It's certainly it's a privilege to be here and to be sharing what I do in my business.
Yeah.
And yes, you talked about technical savvy, and that is not me.
Yeah.
So the fact that I'm doing this is unbelievable in itself.
Yeah.
And this has been the year for it. Learning, lots of learning.
Lots of learning, and congratulations. But did you know we were the first ever innovators in the world as Aboriginal and Torres Strait people, because we were
Yes.
innovating and we were doing trade and business for such a long time, and we're just moving with the process of it all. So, really excited to have you on board. It's been a long time since we first met in Adelaide.
Yes,
At the
absolutely.
conference. But tell us
Yes.
a little bit about you. Like, I've read your bio and, we've heard a lot about you, but tell us a little bit about you yourself.
Well, first and foremost, I guess, I'm a mother of 3 wonderful children and a grandson that is now 10 months old, completely proud. I guess business I 12 after years of and decades of working in the education and training sector. So, and I'm privileged to work with my family, my mother and my sister primarily, who help design and develop and deliver and do a lot of the administration. But also, I guess mum is always fierce advocate and champion for the business and what we do. And of course, yes, so very connected to the family. And my husband, he helps out also. He's the pseudo finance manager, and my
Nice.
children help out as well. So it's very much a family affair.
Yeah, it certainly
And we
is.
embarked on this. I guess we just embarked on it because I knew that there must be a different way, another way, to get our people to where they need to be.
Yeah, that's really amazing. And, with COVID-19...
And support them in their journey.
Yeah, with COVID-19, it's been such
Now I can't hear, Julieann.
Pardon?
I can't hear.
We'll have to get you to refresh
You.
again. So Tanyah's just dropped out again. This is really great with telecommunications. Sometimes we do really well and we can go for a few weeks and do live videos and Zoom meetings, and then all of a sudden we can have a dropout. And that's the issues that we face, as people and as community and as business. But we're back again.
Yes, back again. Back again.
Thank you for joining us again.
Okay.
Just intended, tell us a little bit about your business, what you do and who do you work with. And
Okay, so the business is primarily about empowerment training and leadership training for our people. 80% of the clients that we work with and the people that we work with are in remote communities across Australia. It's a privilege to work with people who are thirsty for learning, thirsty for knowledge, thirsty for change. And when they do the Rise Up program, which is the program that we have created and deliver, they do amazing things. And they start to begin or strengthen their journey for personal transformation. So primarily, we started in 2012. It was probably out of fear and frustration, fear that our people wouldn't get to create the life that they really want and that they really deserve, and frustration because we've been doing this for a long time as systems and organisations and agencies and with great intent, but somehow we just aren't getting the outcomes. We're not, in spite of the resourcing, in spite of the programs, in spite of the funding, in spite of the goodwill and the intent, unfortunately, we're just not getting there. So as we decided, how can we contribute and what can we do? And so we created the Rise Up program, Be Your Best, Own Your Future. And that's what we deliver to remote communities, to inspire them.
Yeah, it's so really refreshing to hear that. And also what comes through is a real drive, to help mob.
Yes,
And that comes from within our DNA and our spirit, doesn't it? You know?
absolutely. It
Yeah,
is. Absolutely.
yeah.
I think
And
it's implicit.
how have you found being in business, especially in this COVID-19? This is unprecedented times for us, and it's been going on for a long time. How have you found? Have you had to change what your business does, or how you actually work in your business and deliver your programs? How have you had to change within that?
Absolutely. Well, this has been an unbelievable year. I'm very grateful that we live in Darwin, that we live in the Territory, that we live in Australia. When you see the pain and suffering around the world, we are very fortunate and grateful. COVID definitely, any terms of work or program or projects that we had in the pipeline, completely disappeared, understandably. And so then this has been the year of learning, lots of learning, lots of reflection, thinking about what do we need to do? What else can we do? How do we review what we're doing? And how do we reset? But also, most importantly, how do I pivot? How do we shift what we're doing, and still be able to serve our people and help our people?
Fantastic. And do you enjoy being in business? Okay, we'll have to go to refresh again.
I'm gonna reset.
Oh, we're back on again. So Tanyah's business, Tanyah Nasir Consulting, is delivering programs across the Northern Territory. And, it's being in business. I've been in business myself, and we're in business with Tanyah Management Consultants, and we're assisting businesses all the time. And even during these unprecedented time, it's, some point we don't know what we're going to do in business, because how do we change what we do? How do we find other ways to deliver our services? And me talking to Tanyah previously, before the live interview today, she was telling me that she had to go to an online platform and she had to deliver in this same format to her students live. And sometimes things go well and sometimes things don't go so well. But what we found during the COVID-19 is, as a mob, we need to come together to support each other. And that's what's really great about this program, and having our Friday program about putting a spotlight on business, is to show the incredible things that our Indigenous businesses are doing, in the Northern Territory, which is so important. And even though, when borders close down, we're still delivering our business. We're still here, and we're still trying to make things happen. And Tanyah and her team are no different. And, hearing the deadly work that they do, and also the empowering our mob is just so important. And, like I said before, it's in our DNA and it's in our spirit to actually do that, and to keep building our people and getting the opportunities across. And we know within business, it's about empowering. It's about creating our own economic outcomes. And sometimes we need some help and support with that, to actually do that. So, just trying to get Tanyah back on the line. And the other things that we face, what people don't realise, is within community, we actually have telecommunications issues, which is different to maybe some people that are in a larger or regional area. I was just talking about the differences that we have with telecommunications, and sometimes it can be a real issue for us, but I'm glad you're back.
Oh, me too. Yeah. Sorry, everyone. I hope everyone, yes, will stay connected.
But no, it's deadly. And then this is the thing, when you're recording live video like this, and we're live to air, yes, sometimes things go wrong. And it's like when you're actually delivering in front of a group like you are, and something will happen in the group that's unexpected, and you just have to learn how to keep going and keep pushing through. That's what we learn how to do.
Well, I think it's about that resilience. We just have to keep going, irrespective of what, things happen and what life throws us or what happens in the technology world. We just got to keep going.
Absolutely.
And don't give up.
Absolutely. So is there anything else you would like to just also want to ask you, what would you say, like 3 words or 3 phrases of wisdom that you could give to any of our mob that's in business or are thinking about being in business? Is there any sort of tips or words of wisdom you'd like to give them?
I think initially, firstly, if you have a dream, if you have an idea, if you know there's something deep inside you that you want to do, just do it. Just start. Find people to ask questions, ask for help, seek out people who've already started the journey. It's not easy. It's the most difficult thing I've ever done. I'm very, very glad that I have my family with me to support me on the journey, but it's also very rewarding. So just know that, if you have an idea, just go for it. It's not going to be perfect in the beginning, and probably it's not perfect even now. But you know what? You just got to have a go.
That's fantastic. That's some really wise words of wisdom there, Tanyah, about believing in yourself and dreaming and, giving it a go, that's okay. What we might do now is actually, if you are listening in, if you'd like to know more about our NT Indigenous Business Resilience Program, just comment the word deadly below and you'll be able to gain access to more information. This video is actually, even though we are live, it is being recorded and it'll be uploaded across all of our social media events. Thank you for your time today, and also thank you, Tanyah, for your time today. I'd like to finish where we started by acknowledging and paying respects to all of our Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander ancestors, elders, community, and our families. If you're watching the replay on Facebook, like I said, just comment steadily down the bottom and you'll get access to the program. The program actually is for NT Indigenous businesses. The program is running, it's been running now, this is our 3rd week, so for a further 9 weeks. And we'll be just giving you information to help and support your business post-COVID-19. But thank you, Tanyah. Is there any last words that you would like to say?
Okay, before something happens again, I guess I think for people listening and for people watching, Aboriginal Affairs is a tough gig. We work in a really complex, complicated, difficult area. So we need to be mindful of that and be kind, because it's tough, but we need to unite and keep going and never give up. And I guess with regard to the business, if you want to have more effective workers, effective board members, effective committee members, workers that are performing at their highest level and unlocking their true potential, then as a business, with our empowerment programs, we can help you, without doubt. That's what we've been doing for the last 8 years. We know that Rise Up is impactful, it's powerful, and it's amazing. And we've got loads of testimony to that and people's personal journeys of transformation. So we're here to help. If you're interested, if you want to support your workers and your board members and committee members and even students and young people, absolutely.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. So just to let you know, we are listening, we are talking today and having a yarn with Tanyah Nasir of Tanyah Nasir Consulting. You can find Tanyah on LinkedIn, Tanyah Nasir. You can also find Tanyah on Facebook as well, and her website is www.tanyahnasir.com.au. But also too, you'll find Tanyah's details across all of our social media platforms, and it'll also be uploaded when we upload the recording of the interview. So Tanyah, thank you so much. It was such a deadly and humbling experience for me. That's okay. It was a deadly experience to actually, yarn with you today and to actually hear your heart and to hear your heart for the mob and what you're doing. But like I said, there's Tanyah's details down the left-hand side. And again, if you're interested in coming on to our NT Indigenous Business Resilience Program, just reach out, comment deadly on the post below in the comments. If you're listening on YouTube, you can click on the link below as well in the comments section, and we'll give you information for our NT Indigenous businesses. But thank you so much for today. Thank you for everyone for listening in, and we'll be talking to you soon. Okay, bye-bye.